halftime in this American Conference battle. Florida Atlantic leading South Florida at the break 36-33. Let's run down these first half stats. Not an offensive work of art for either team. For Florida Atlantic, 14 of 37 from the floor for 38%. They were 4 for 13 from three-point range at 31%, 4 for 6 at the free throw line, 67%. For the Bulls, 12 out of 35 for 34%, just 2 of 13 from three-point range, that's 15%, and 7 of 11 at the free throw line for 64%. Rebound edge for the Bulls, 29-19 over Florida Atlantic. South Florida did turn it over 9 times in that first half. Florida Atlantic turned it over 4. Leading for Florida Atlantic, Kanan Carlisle, 9 points in that first half, 7 points out of Devin Vanderpool, the leading scorer on the season for Florida Atlantic, 5 points out of Isaiah Elohim, 4 points apiece off the bench for Maxim Logue and Josiah Parker. Logue is in foul trouble, though, with 3 fouls. 3 points out of Xander Pintalon, and 2 points apiece from Devin Williams and Nicolo Moretti round out the scoring for Florida International. For South Florida, they were led by C.J. Brown's 8 points, 7 points apiece from Isaiah Nelson and Adriel Niora. 4 points out of Davian Collins, 3 points out of Wes Ennis, and 2 points apiece from Josh Omahafo and Joseph Pinion. The scoring for South Florida in that first half as the Bulls trail 36-33 here at the break to Florida Atlantic, the first place team in the American Conference. As we are just about set to get underway in the second half. So here we go. Owls ball to open the second half. This is Carlisle. And off inside, and an acrobatic shot is no good, but a foul is called. Elohim went for the acrobatic layup underneath, and he got fouled, and he will head to the line for 2. Elohim at the line for 2. First is up and good. Second free throw is short. 1 out of 2 at the line for Elohim. But it looks like we're going to have a lane violation. So Elohim will get another crack at it. He got that one. 38-33. Owls with the first 2 points of the second half. Wes Ennis. Now outside it goes to C.J. Brown. Brown looking to drive. Brown with the spin inside. Gets cut off. And now dishes off, and the reverse layup is no good. And a foul is called. Fouls against the Owls. Bulls will inbound. Off the inbound, a three in the corner is good. Off the inbound for Wes Ennis, his second three. And it makes it a 2-point game, 38-36. At the other end, a three-pointer. That's too strong. Rebound pulled down by Ennis. Bulls can tie or take the lead. Ennis bounce pass to Nelson. Isaiah Nelson on the drive. He spins. He lost it. And the Owls come out with the ball. 10th turnover for South Florida. Owls working around the outside. Here's Williams. And now on the drive inside, that shot hit the bottom of the backboard, and it's rebounded by the Bulls as Joseph Pinion brings it up the floor. And now a three for Ennis is no good. Knocked out of bounds. It will stay South Florida ball. Bulls to inbound in the corner. Ennis off the inbound, misses a three. Rebound pulled down by Florida Atlantic. And at the other end, a three-pointer is drilled. Devin Vanderpool now in double figures with 10. It's 41-36. And that pass knocked out of bounds by Florida Atlantic. It will stay South Florida ball. We are 2 minutes into the second half. Inbound it comes to Nelson. Nelson off to Pinion. Inside to Nelson. Throws it up and gets fouled. Josiah Parker just picked up his third foul for Florida Atlantic. So Maxim Logue and Josiah Parker, 3 fouls apiece for Florida Atlantic. And Isaiah Nelson heads to the free throw line. First is good. One more free throw coming for Nelson to try to cut it back to a 3-point game. And he does. Nelson now with 9, 41-38. Florida Atlantic. Owls bring it up. And now we have a foul on the Bulls. It's their second team foul of the half. Vanderpool with it for the Owls. Vanderpool looking. Vanderpool still looking. Gets it in. Oh, stepping in the passing lane, almost turning it over was Vanderpool. And now he'll go inside for the pass, and the shot is blocked. And then it goes off of Florida Atlantic over to South Florida. C.J. Brown bringing it up the floor for the Bulls. Brown goes inside, a lob and a finish on an alley-oop. $41-40. Wow. An emphatic alley-oop. Williams. Inside shot, no. Rebound, C.J. Brown. Bulls can retake the lead. Brown goes coast to coast for the layup, and the Bulls take the lead, 42-41. Timeout, Florida Atlantic. And South Florida has seized the momentum here as they've taken a 1-point lead with 16:40 to go. So the Bulls force Florida Atlantic into a timeout. C.J. Brown's 10 points leads the way for South Florida. He had the great alley-oop to Damian Collins. Devin Vanderpool's 10 points leads the way for Florida Atlantic. So a 6-0 run for South Florida has given them a 1-point lead. So following the timeout, it will be Florida Atlantic ball. Following the Florida Atlantic timeout, they will inbound in front of the bench. As inside layup is good, and the Owls retake the lead just like that, 43-42. 9 now for Carlisle. C.J. Brown with it for the Bulls. Brown gives it off for an open three-point shot that's up and good by Wes Ennis, his third three. He's starting to feel it now, 45-43 Bulls. Four minutes into the second half. A drive, the runner, no. Rebound, South Florida. Ahead of the floor, layup is good. On a fast break, the Bulls convert with a layup, and they lead by 4, and the Owls turn it over. Back come the Bulls, coast to coast. Again goes Brown, and he scores. (13-2) spurt for South Florida, and they lead by 6, 49-43. Josiah Parker gives it off in the corner for a 3, and a big 3 for Florida Atlantic. Devin Vanderpool hits. It's 49-46. Bulls almost turn it over. C.J. Brown will back it out. And now Brown on the drive. The reverse layup up and good. C.J. Brown now with 14. 5-point lead for South Florida, 51-46. Jumper in the paint. That's going to go down. Isaiah Elohim now with 9. 51-48. Offenses have really picked up here in the second half. Inside layup counted and a foul. The basket and one for Damian Collins. And he'll have a chance for a 3-point play when we come back out of the under-16 timeout. Bulls have picked up the offense, and they lead by 5 over first place Florida International, or Florida Atlantic, 53-48. I don't know where Florida International came from out of there, but Bulls are up to 43% shooting, 20 of 46. Florida Atlantic at 39%, 18 of 46. Teams didn't shoot very well at all in the first half. They've picked it up here in the second half. A big rebound edge today for South Florida, 35-21 on the boards. 16 of those are of the offensive rebound variety, as the Bulls have just owned the glass today against Florida Atlantic. And the Bulls will be at the free throw line to try to complete a 3-point play here when we resume out of the under-16 timeout. 53-48, South Florida over Florida Atlantic. South Florida trailed by 3 at the half, but outscored Florida Atlantic by 8 so far here in the second half. Damian Collins has stepped up for South Florida here in the second half. He's got 8 big points off the bench. And he will head to the line to try to complete the three-point play and extend this lead for the Bulls to 6. Free throw is no good. 53-48, score stays. Now on the drive. Kicking back out, Vanderpool thought about the three. Now will drive inside, take the 2-point layup and score. Devin Vanderpool with 2 more. He's got 15 for Florida Atlantic. 53-50. Ennis on the outside. Bounce pass inside, Dan. The layup no good, but a foul is called. And more free throws coming for Damian Collins. And that is foul number 4 on Josiah Parker. So Parker with 4 personals. Free throw no good by Collins. One more free throw coming for Damian Collins. Missed it short. He's now 0 for 3 at the free throw line. So it's still a 3-point lead. Collins on the season, a 75% free throw shooter, but he's missed all 3 tonight so far. And going up and getting fouled. And this will be 2 shots for Logue. Damian Collins whistled for the foul. That's his second. First of 2 free throws. That's no good. Logue with 1 more. Trying to cut this deficit to 2. He misses both. With neither team helping themselves from the free throw line. Brown brings it up the floor for the Bulls. Now we'll try and run something. Alley-oop inside and a finish again. $55-50. Isaiah Nelson now with 11 as he reaches double figures. Pull-up jumper in the paint, up and good by Vanderpool. He's heating up. He's got 17 now for the Owls, 55-52. Ennis with it. He gets free for a 3-pointer that's short. Rebound pulled down by Moretti of Florida Atlantic. And off the glass, no good. There was a foul before the shot against South Florida. And they're going to get C.J. Brown. That's going to be his third. Team foul number 4. Both teams now with 4 team fouls here in the second half. Owls to inbound. And here's Carlisle inside. Gann gets the shot to go. Kanan Carlisle with the jumper. It's 55-54. Carlisle now with 11. And at the other end, Florida Atlantic knocks the ball out of bounds. It will stay with South Florida. Off the inbound, Ennis, and a blocking foul is called. Ennis missed the layup, but he will have 2 free throws. Foul is on Moretti. That is his first. Ooh, that looked like a tough call. They look pretty set. Looking at the replay. But nonetheless, it is 2 free throws for Wes Ennis. First is good. He becomes the 3rd Bull in double figures. Ennis hits 2. He's got 11. Bulls lead by 3, 57-54 as we hit 12 minutes remaining. And losing the ball are the Owls. Bulls get the steal and a foul. Under 12 timeout, hits with 11:47 to play. South Florida leading Florida Atlantic 57-54. Folks may have to update my live stream here. I am not going to stop before a game ends to go to a different game on the live stream. So with the length of this game and with this game still having about 12 minutes left, there's a possibility it's going to run into the AFC Championship game. If that happens, the AFC Championship game live stream will be off, but I will be back on for the NFC Championship game. I was looking at the schedule yesterday when I set this up. I thought that was a risk by doing this game at 1 o'clock Eastern with the AFC Championship game scheduled to start at 3. I thought I might be running a little bit of a risk there. So there's a possibility my live stream for the AFC Championship will be off. Nonetheless, I will be on for the NFC Championship game tonight at 6:30. That game will be on my YouTube stream at Sports Bonanza John and on my Kick stream on my Twitch stream, on my Twitch stream at Sport Guru John for that NFC Championship game. And so with 11:46 here to go, South Florida leading 57-54. Foul starting to pile up here in the second half as well. It was a low foul first half. Not the case here in the second half. So following the timeout here, the 11:47 to go, it's a 3-point lead for South Florida. And South Florida is going to be shooting free throws for the rest of this game for each Florida Atlantic foul here on out. Devin Hade heads to the line for the Bulls. 4-2 shots. First of two is good. So Hade on the board with his first point. Second one is also good. 59-54, 11:45 to play. Carlisle, dangerous pass, and I believe that's going to be Florida Atlantic ball. I thought the Owls might have knocked it out, but the officials say it went off South Florida. Oh, now they're going to reverse it, it looks like. I thought that went off an Owl. And it is going to be South Florida ball. They are going to look at this just to make sure. I thought that went off a Florida Atlantic player in real time, so they're going to go to replay. With 11 and a half minutes to play. This is actually a challenge from South Florida. Yeah, that went off and... Yeah, pretty sure that went off Vanderpool. This should be South Florida ball after the review. Because that sure appears that it went off Vanderpool before going out of bounds. Here's the call. And it is overturned. It will be South Florida ball. It was called Florida Atlantic ball on the floor. So, and on that replay, that clearly went off the hand of Devin Vanderpool. So Florida Atlantic turns it over for the 8th time. Good job by this officiating crew to look at that, and a good challenge there by South Florida. So they will keep their challenge. There's another alley-oop attempt. This time not converted, but South Florida saves the possession as they work it around the outside, and a three-pointer's no good. Pinion, the offensive rebounded putback. Joseph Pinion now with 6. 61-54 Bulls. The 18th offensive rebound for South Florida, and the Owls turn it over again. Pinion is fouled. And I'm sorry, Pinion, I think I said 6 points for Pinion. He actually has 4, trying to make it 6 with these 2 free throws. Devin Vanderpool just picked up his 3rd foul. Penalty now in effect. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. This to push the South Florida lead to 9 with 10:50 to go. He does. Largest lead of the game for South Florida, 63-54. Florida Atlantic needs a basket here. Getting cut off on the baseline is LOM, having to send it back outside now. And now Moretti Moretti looking to drive. He gets in the paint. He'll put up an off-balance shot and get fouled, and Moretti will head to the line for two. I think they got Isaiah Nelson on that foul. And to the line goes Nicolo Moretti. Looks like we're going to have a lot of free throws shot this last 10.5 minutes of this game. Moretti's first free throw is good. (63-55), one more coming. Second one is also good. So Moretti with 4 points, all from the free throw line, 63-56. Bulls lead by 7 as we approach the midway point here in the second half. C.J. Brown with it on the outside for the Bulls. Now drives inside. Brown is stripped. Able to save the possession and get it over to Pinion. Pinion will try a three-pointer. That's shot too hard. Offensive rebound, put-back dunk for Isaiah Nelson. Nelson with 13, 65-56. Boy, it is utter domination on the glass for South Florida. That is now 19 offensive rebounds. Devin Williams tries a three. That's off the back rim. No good. Rebound pulled down by South Florida as Pinion will slow it down as he brings it up across the midcourt stripe. C.J. Brown off to Pinion. Pinion for three. That is short. Rebound pulled down by Moretti of the Owls. And here comes another three-pointer. That's no good, and we're going to have a foul, however, on South Florida underneath the basket, off the ball. .902 remaining. That's team foul number 6, so both teams will be shooting free throws the rest of this game. Pass inside is blocked. Pinion comes out with the loose ball for South Florida. C.J. Brown coast to coast again. Can't finish. There's another dunk on a rebound, offensive rebound. Isaiah Nelson now has himself a double-double. 15 points, now 11 rebounds, and it's a double-digit lead for South Florida. The Owls almost turn it over again. We're going to get a foul on South Florida. So to the free throw line will go Kanan Carlisle of Florida Atlantic. This will be a 1-and-1. Free throw is good. Carlisle will get the bonus. Josh Omohafo returning to the lineup for South Florida. 2 free throws are good for Carlisle, and it makes it 67-58 as we're under 8.5 minutes remaining. C.J. Brown looking for space. Gives it off to Nelson. Shot clock down to 10. Here's Brown. A top of the key three-pointer for Pinion is good. (70-58). South Florida up a dozen. Josiah Parker gets inside. He will score with the right hand. And Josiah Parker with the field goal, and it makes it a 10-point game, 70-60. 7.5 to go. Brown, this is Pinion, three in the corner is blocked. It will stay South Florida ball with 7.5 to play. Bulls lead it by 10, 70-60 over Florida Atlantic. It's been a dunk fest here in this one for South Florida, as they've gotten themselves some breathing room, a 10-point lead over the Owls. Florida Atlantic from the floor now 42%, 22 of 53. They're 6 of 18 from three-point range at 33%, and at the free throw line, they're 10 of 14 for 71%. For the Bulls, they're shooting 43%, 25 of 58. 5 of 24 from three-point range, 21%, 15 of 22 at the free throw line for 68%. Huge rebound edge, 43-26 for South Florida. 21 offensive rebounds for the Bulls. $15 points for Isaiah Nelson, 14 points for C.J. Brown, 11 points for Wes Ennis. 3 in double figures for South Florida. Florida Atlantic, Devin Vanderpool, 17 points leading the way. Kanan Carlisle with 13. Those are the only 2 in double figures for Florida Atlantic. As the first place Owls are in trouble here, down by 10 with 7.5 to play. If they do not come back here, their lead in the American Conference will shrink to a half game over 3 teams. Charlotte, Temple, and Tulsa in that 3-way tie for second in the American right now. This would pull South Florida would also get to 5-2 and join that tie for second place. Be just a half game behind Florida Atlantic. These 2 teams will meet again in mid-February, actually 3 weeks from today. In the second meeting this year between the 2 schools. So out of the timeout with 7.5 left. It's going to be South Florida ball. Both teams are in the penalty. Both teams have 17 fouls. Bulls to inbound from the corner. Into Pinion. Pinion goes inside, and the ball knocked away. South Florida maintains possession, and they're going to hit a 3. Wes Ennis with a 3-pointer. That's his 4th 3. He's got 14 points, and the Bulls have their largest lead of the afternoon at 13, 73-60. And that shot on the way, no good for the Owls. And back come the Bulls as C.J. Brown gets the rebound. A nice pass underneath, two more. Damian Collins now gets into double figures as he's got 10. Bulls lead by 15 after trailing by 3 at halftime. Pass goes inside, and we have a foul before the shot. This one's going to be on the Bulls. One and one here for Florida Atlantic. Josiah Parker at the line. First of the 1-and-1 is good. And he'll get the bonus. 6:33 to play. 13 and a half minutes here in the second half. South Florida already has 42 points this half. Missed the second. Offensive rebound, however, for Florida Atlantic, and the layup is good. That ends up a three-point trip as Vanderpool gets the layup, 75-63. Brown with it on the outside for the Bulls. Nobody underneath, and this is going to be another dunk. There was absolutely nobody underneath the basket defensively for Florida Atlantic, and Damian Collins had an easy slam, 77-63. Logue with it, off to Carlisle. Carlisle with 7 to shoot. Carlisle, top of the key three-pointer. He's banked. No, but a foul. Oh, my goodness. Omaha fouled Carlisle on a three-point attempt, and Carlisle had to throw up a wild three with the shot clock running down. Ooh, big error right there. So 3 free throws for Kanan Carlisle. First is good. Coach Hodgson there on the South Florida sideline having a discussion. Don't think he liked that foul call. Second of 3 free throws is good. One more coming for Carlisle. Devin Hade returns to the lineup for South Florida. Carlisle hits all 3. Lead is 11 for South Florida with 5:40 to go. Brown's shot is blocked, but we're going to have a foul on the Owls. C.J. Brown will head to the line. Foul is called on Kanan Carlisle. That'll be his third. First of 2 by Brown is good. Brown's second. No good. 1 of 2. Rebound pulled down by Florida Atlantic. Down 12. Under 5.5 to go. Moretti with it on the outside. Moretti looking to drive now, but gets cut off by Pinion. Has to send it back outside to Carlisle. Carlisle with a deep three that's short. Rebound pulled down by South Florida. South Florida slowing the pace down with a 12-point lead. Brown. Ball knocked away momentarily. South Florida maintains possession. And now Brown on the drive. Shot blocked. Back come the Owls the other way. It's a one-on-one, and now stopping and resetting are the Owls. And a three-point shot on the way is good. Vanderpool with 22. Timeout, Florida Atlantic. They're next to last. They're down to 1. And since we're under 4.5 minutes, this will serve as the under 4 timeout. 78-69, Florida Atlantic trying one last gasp here. Do they have one last comeback in them? So we've got a timeout here. I want to update the live stream schedule with the length of this game. It's going to cut into the start of the Patriots-Broncos, and I'm not one that jumps in after games have started, and I'm not going to cut this game off to go to that game. So no AFC Championship game stream. Will be on for the NFC Championship tonight, Rams and Seahawks. That will be on my YouTube, Sports Bonanza John, and on Twitch at Sport Guru John. So Rams and Seahawks NFC Championship game stream be on right before 6:30 Eastern. We will probably know the AFC representative by that time. But again, AFC Championship game stream is off due to the length of this one. So I will just be back on for the Rams and Seahawks NFC Championship tonight, 6:30 Eastern. Again, that will be on my YouTube and on my Twitch streams. No kick on that one. 78-69, our score here. South Florida leads Florida Atlantic. Both teams shot in the 30s pretty much all first half. They have now gotten themselves into the 40% range. 45% for South Florida, 42% for Florida Atlantic. Still a huge rebound edge for the Bulls, 45-29. Florida Atlantic's down to 1 timeout. South Florida still has 3. Again, following this game, South Florida will be back in action Wednesday night at Tulane. If South Florida hangs on to win this game, South Florida will be in a second-place tie with Tulane. Florida Atlantic heads to Memphis on Thursday, take on a struggling Memphis team this year. The Bulls inbound. Nelson And now here's Pinion with another three, and he gets fouled on a three. It doesn't go, but he will have 3 free throws. That's about the third or fourth time we've seen a shooter fouled on a three-point shot. So 3 free throws for Joseph Pinion. First is good. $79-69. He missed the second as it rolls out. It's Pinion's first miss from the line. Ennis returns to the lineup for South Florida. Pinion hits the third. He hits 2 of the 3. 80-69. As we are down to the final 4 minutes of this one. Moretti on the outside. Bounce pass is a bad one and stolen. Ahead of the floor for the Bulls, but a nice defensive play by Florida Atlantic to knock it out of bounds. It will still be South Florida possession, but a great job by Carlisle to get back quickly on defense to prevent the easy layup. Bulls to inbound under the basket. And it comes to Nelson. Off to Pinion. Pinion gives it to C.J. Brown. C.J. Brown now looking to drive, gets cut off. And now instead passes off, and a three-pointer is good. Seventh three made today for South Florida, and it's 83-69. Jump shot at the other end, no good. Tip, no good. And the Bulls save the rebound from going out of bounds. Now let's see if South Florida works on a little bit of clock here with a comfortable lead. Timeout called by South Florida. This will be a 30-second timeout with 3:22 to go. And now looks like we have a technical foul against Florida Atlantic. So it looks like Coach Jackas got teed up for the Owls, and both free throws are good. $85-69, and it will be Bulls ball. Here's Brown. Isaiah Nelson with it now on the outside. Nelson drives against Logue. Nelson, nice pass into Pinion. Reverse no is a little out of control there. Rebounded by the Owls with 3 minutes to go. LOM. And Vanderpool inside can't get it to drop. Offensive rebound for Florida Atlantic. LOM pull-up jumper from the foul line is good for Isaiah LOM. He's in double figures now. 85-71. And this will be a pushing foul on Carlisle of Florida Atlantic. That'll be his fourth. Team's ninth, so it'll be the final 1-1. A 52-point second half for South Florida. After trailing by 3 at halftime. First free throw is good. Second is good. 87-71. Final 2.5 minutes of this one. Three-point shot on the way, no good. Rebound out of bounds over to the Bulls. A phenomenal second half from South Florida. And it appears it is going to lead them to a win over the first-place team in the American. And we will have a logjam in the American standings. Three-pointer on the way is short. Rebound pulled down by Florida Atlantic as we're under 2 minutes. LOM. Outside it goes. And the shot up and good. That was Kanan Carlisle. He's now got 16. 87-73. Bulls just working down the clock every possession. Five to shoot. Brown on the drive. The reverse is no good. Rebound pulled down by the Owls. And a driving layup up and good. And it'll cut it to 12, but just a minute to go. Florida Atlantic is not fouling. This game's pretty much in the bag, so no reason to now at this point. The fans at the Yuengling Center in Tampa come to their feet for the Bulls, as the Bulls will climb into a four-way tie for second place in the American. Half game behind conference-leading Florida Atlantic. Shot no good here. Rebound pulled down by the Bulls, and a layup is good. 89-75. Pinion now has 13. Three-pointer at the top of the key is short. Rebound to South Florida, and that, I think, will be the final shot of this game as we're down to 10 seconds. The Bulls will dribble it out and bring a halt to Florida Atlantic's 5-game winning streak. South Florida will win for the 5th time in 6 games as the horn sounds. South Florida wins it going away in the second half. 89-75 as they knock off first place Florida Atlantic. South Florida improves to 13-7 overall, 5-2 in the American. Florida Atlantic falls to 14-7 overall. They fall to 6-2 in the American, and now the Bulls have climbed into a 4-way tie for second place with Charlotte, Tulane, and Tulsa. In the American, Florida Atlantic's lead in the conference down to a half game. Run down the final stats here before I sign off here. South Florida ends up shooting 44% from the floor, 30 of 68. They were 7 of 27 from three-point range at 26%. 22 of 31 at the free throw line for 71%. Florida Atlantic, 27 of 66 shooting, 41%. 7 of 22 from 3 at 32%. 14 of 19 at the free throw line for 74%. End up a big edge on the rebounds as it was all game for South Florida. 49-35 on the rebounds, 21 offensive rebounds for South Florida. Both teams turned it over 10 times. South Florida was led by 19 points out of Wes Ennis, 17 out of C.J. Brown, 15 points out of Isaiah Nelson, 13 out of Joseph Pinion, and 12 points out of Damian Collins, 5 in double figures for the Bulls. 7 points out of Adriel Niorha and 4 points from Josh Omahafo. 2 points out of Devin Hade rounds out the scoring for South Florida. For Florida Atlantic, they were led by Devin Vanderpool's 22 points. 16 points from Kanan Carlisle, 13 out of Josiah Parker, 11 points from Isaiah Elohim, 4 in double figures for the Owls. Other scoring, 4 points apiece from Maxim Logue and Nicolo Moretti. 3 points out of Xander Pintalon, and 2 points out of Devin Williams to round out the scoring for Florida Atlantic. As the Bulls of South Florida win it 89-75, improved to 13-7 overall, 5-2 in the American. Florida Atlantic falls to 14-7 overall, 6-2 in the American. Their lead is down to a half game. Again, we now have that 4-way tie for second place in the American standings. That's going to wrap it up on this live stream. Again, my name is John, Sportsmananza John on YouTube. If you like my content, would appreciate a like and subscribe. Also on Kick at Sports Kick John. I will be back tonight, 6:30 Eastern Time, NFC Championship game, Rams and Seahawks. That will be on my YouTube stream at Sportsmananza John, also on Twitch at Sport Guru John. Hopefully you can tune in with me for that one. Talk to you at 6:30 tonight for the Rams and Seahawks NFC Championship game. Going to wrap it up for this. Have a great afternoon, everybody. God bless.